So after 2 weeks of continuing taking the MK, I started recognizing a problem with my heart, where my heart rate is the same, um, but what happened is like I feel like some tightness in the chest, or like when I say I can feel my heart beating, So I've never, like, I can hear it here in my head. I can hear it. Like when I'm asleep, I feel like I'm going to choke or something. What's going on, guys? So today we will be going over the MK677, my own experience with it, the results that I had, for how long I ran it, what benefits, advantages, and disadvantages that I had, all detailed in this video. So let's see. First, let's start off with the what MK677. If you don't want to see that, if you want to skip it, just get to this part right here, and let's jump into it. So, taking a look at my notes. Um, so MK677, our former tentative brand name, the Oratrope, something like that. I couldn't spell. You're gonna torture me for that. So it's a potent, long-term acting, orally active, selective, and non-peptide agonist of the ghrelin receptor and growth hormone secretagogue. So it's a growth hormone secretagogue. It's not a peptide. It's not a steroid. It's not a SARM. It's not something that is going to fuck up your hormonal profile, basically. So mimicking the growth hormone GH, stimulating action of the endogenous hormone ghrelin. So that means it stimulates your hunger, it stimulates the hormone ghrelin, and that makes you a hell a lot of a hungry person. So that is a problem that I had with it. So if you are like a skinny guy, MK will be like working like magic for you. And so it has been shown to increase the secretion of several hormones, including GH and insulin, like growth factors, IGF-1, and produces sustained increase in the plasma levels of these hormones without affecting cortisol levels. So what we take from that, it increases IGF-1 levels without having problems going on with your blood plasma. So, and also without affecting your stress level, your cortisol levels, to get stressed and anxious and all that side effects. So it has been shown to sustain activation of the GH growth hormone and IGF-1 axes, and to increase lean body mass with no change in total fat mass or visceral fat. So it actually doesn't. It actually, if anything, it just burns more fat because you are gaining more muscle out of it. Well, it's not like magic, but that's what happens. And but to some degree, that is not true. That's because it stimulates your hunger, and you're going to eat a shit ton of food. And when I say a shit ton of food, I mean like 3 times more you usually eat, if not more. So based on my own experience with it, the very first day I took it, the hunger was like skyrocket, and I gained like 6 or 7 pounds in the course of 2 or 3 days. It was mostly water, but whatever. I was eating more too, so it should retain water, and yeah, so that's what happened. The reason why I took it is because, as you might know, I have inguinal hernia, and I also have Sportman hernia, and I also what a thing to have, and I also have golfer's elbow. So it's just several injuries that I had in the past, and some of them are not healing properly. So I researched this chemical, and I was quite impressed, to be honest, the first time I read about it. So when it's time to, let me just cover this up, to try it. So here it is. Just focus, motherfucker. There it is. MK677. So I started taking it orally, Who the hell is going to inject it? I started off with 15 milligrams for the first week, and then I increased it straight away to 25 milligrams for the second week, and then continued for a month. And the very first week, as I said, I gained 6 or 7 pounds. My hunger was like extremely high, and because of that, I didn't feel the healing process. After the entire month, I felt even worse. I felt even way more tired, way more like I felt like a whale. So basically, it's probably because of the weight that I gained, or the fast weight gain. And just to let you know, after I started taking the MK, I started having my sex drive going down. Now, it's not because of the MK, because it does not interfere with the androgen receptors or the hormones, or makes any changes in your endogenous hormonal production or hormonal profile. But what happens is because I was so exhausted, and as I said, I was working really hard, and just a lot of shit happens to me sometimes, no, all the time. So I think it's because of the weight gain that I had. That is why I was a bit more sluggish and tired, and I'm not used to having that much of a weight. Like, my body fat percentage at that point was around maybe like 22 or 23%. I have never been this fat in my life, ever. Plus quarantine and not moving, and just having a boring lifestyle. So that's what happened. I think that's the reason. And after that, I think after like 2 weeks of starting the MK, I was working out. I was doing cardio, and when I do cardio, I don't mean your regular ass grandma cardio. I go all out, and I do it like maybe 2 to 3 times a month, like just to test myself out, and just to go harder than last time. So after 2 weeks of continuing taking the MK, I started recognizing a problem with my heart, where my heart rate is the same, but what happened is like I feel like some tightness in the chest, or like when I say, I can feel my heart beating, so I've never, like, I can hear it here in my head. I can hear it. Like, when I'm asleep, I feel like I'm going to choke or something. I don't know if that's because of the MK, because I didn't see any data packing the efficacy of what I'm saying, that it causes heart problem, but indirectly it does, because it makes you gain weight, and it's not that much, but it depends on the individual. I told you I have never been this fat before, and so that is one of the side effects that I had. The second one is hunger. You all know that. The third one, sluggishness and tiredness. Again, doesn't relate exactly to the MK, just relates to the weight gain that you have, and that's what happened. And I didn't actually get any benefits as healing benefits, because basically I just didn't give it enough time. Data says that you have to give it at least maybe like 2 to 5 months to start recognizing the differences and the healing that it can describe to your body. But I couldn't wait. I couldn't take the hunger, first of all. The second thing, the sluggishness and tiredness, and the problem that I had with my heart. At the end, guys, this is just an experimental SARM. Is not a SARM, but they classified as SARM, whatever. So, I remember it's just an experimental thing, and you shouldn't take it. It's not for human. What the hell does it say? It's not for human consumption. Doesn't matter. It's just not for human consumption, and just use it for research purposes, and and yeah, that's pretty much it for today. Take from that wherever the hell you will, and we'll see you on the next one.